Hey, fourth grade clarinets. Hope everything's going well and hope you had a great weekend. All right, so today we're going to start out with our warm up just like we always do. All right, so I'm going to start with my low C. Thumb, 1, 2, 3. Right hand just supports that clarinet weight. All right, so we're going to start on our low C. Go ahead and play the note. Make sure it sounds like mine. Great. So if it doesn't sound like mine, maybe pause the video, figure out what's wrong, check your reed, check your fingers. Now remember, if you hit anything over here, it's going to mess up the sound. If you hit anything down here, it'll mess up the sound too. So we got to make sure we're not hitting any extra keys. Good. Here we go. So what we're going to do today, guys, is we're going to do what we call a 3-note scale with whole notes. All right, so a whole note looks like this, and it gets how many beats? 4. Okay, so we're going to play a whole note first on the C, thumb, 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to play a whole note on the D. Then we're going to play one on the E. And then we're going to go back down to the D and then to the C. All right, and that's it. Remember, left hand on top. This is my left hand up here on the top. Awesome. So C, D, E, D, C. Whole notes for every one. Here we go. From the beginning, count in your head, please. And 1, 2, ready, and. Awesome. Make sure you breathe when you need to, all right? I didn't breathe too often, but if you need to breathe between every note for right now, that's okay. You breathe when you need to breathe, all right? Here we go. Let's do it one more time since this is kind of new. We haven't done this yet. So, C first. C, D, E, D, C. Breathe when you need to. 1, 2, count in your head, and. Awesome. Make sure we're not puffing our cheeks at all, and make sure we're working on our tonguing. All right, so our tongue is hitting that reed. All right, so right here, ka. Even though it's a whole note, you still are going to tongue every single note. All right. The only thing is you just hold it out after you tongue it. So it's like ka, ka, ka. Right? You get your tongue out of the way and you let the air go through. All right. The tongue is what you're going to use to start the sound because it makes it really clean. Ta, rather than ha. That's what happens when you don't use your tongue. It sounds like that. Ha. All right, but we want to use the tongue to have a nice, clean, crisp start to every note. Ta. Okay, that's why we tongue. We're going to now practice our tonguing, and we're going to use quarter notes. So remember, quarter note like this. And it gets 1 beat. Every quarter note just gets 1 beat. So we're going to play 4 quarter notes. We're going to do the same pattern. Start on the C, and we're going to play 4 quarter notes in a row. Then the D, 4 quarter notes in a row. E, 4 quarter notes. Then back to D, and then C. Remember, this is a 3-note scale. A scale is just a pattern that we go up and down in music, and we do scales all the time. They're like the fundamentals, part of the fundamentals for learning an instrument. Any instrument, scales are important. So our 3-note scale, this time we're just going to play with 4 quarter notes for each note of the scale. So let's try this together. Starting on our C. Here we go. 4 quarter notes with our tongue touching the reed inside our mouth. Just do your best with that, okay? If it's messing you up and it's making you squeak, don't worry about it right now. It's something that we'll work on a lot more once we're actually together. It's hard to do via video lesson. All right, here we go. C, do your best with it. 2, ready, go. And back down. And hold. We always, if we're playing 4 quarter notes, at the very end of that scale, we will hold out the lowest note. So for us, it's a low C. We'll play 4 quarter notes on the C and then hold it. All right, so that's the warm-up I want you to practice this week, and try to do it before you actually start playing any songs in your book, because that's a really good warm-up to do. All right, we're going to start with a review song. So that one's going to be on page 7 of your book, number 1.15. Here we go. Hopefully you've already drawn down your bar lines, and we're going to just play it. Remember, there's something at the end that you have to be aware of, because we are going to make sure that is part of the music today. Here we go. From the beginning. 1, 2, ready, and... Good. All right, so guys, if that was a little too fast, I want you to go back and practice that song. All right, slow it down, take it slower, then go back in this video after you've worked on it and try to play it with me again. That's how you'll know if you've improved, because hopefully each time you practice that song, all right, by yourself or with me, when you go back, you'll be able to play it faster and you'll be able to stay with me and you won't slow down. That's the thing when we're playing by ourselves a lot of times. We start playing them and then we slow down on spots that are a little trickier, like this. Right, but we want to keep that beat the same. So like our beat in music, like I tap my foot a lot when I play. You can probably hopefully hear it. When I tap my foot, it's to help me stay with that beat. So when we play together, we need to stay together and stay with that beat. So when you play by yourself at home, I need you to really work on keeping that beat steady. Tap your foot when you're playing at home and try not to slow down. If you want to do the whole thing slow, do the whole thing slow. But then don't get faster halfway through. Do the whole song slow and then maybe do the whole song a little faster. Or if you're like, oh, this song's easy, I can do it really fast. Do the whole song at the same speed. It can be a fast speed, it can be a slow speed. The speed in music is called the tempo. So we can use a fast tempo or a slow tempo. But it has to be even and consistent and not change halfway through. That's the important thing. All right, awesome. Hopefully you were able to stay with me in that song. If not, you can go back to last week's video, work on that stuff some more so you're ready for this week's video and ready to go on. But if that felt pretty good and you're ready to keep going, turn the page to page 8. We're going to do today these top 3 songs. Okay. All right, so we're going to start here with a Clair de la Lune. We're going to do Mary Had a Little Lamb, and we're going to do Mary Had a Cool Lamb. I like that song. Hopefully you will too. Raise this up a little. There you go. You can see like more of my head. It's not caught off. All right. Hopefully you can still see my fingers. Yep. All right, guys, make sure you're sitting up nice and tall, feet flat on the ground. There we go. Good. Sitting away from the back of the chair. I don't have a chair with a back, so it's easy for me not to sit against the back of my chair. But I need you to make sure you're not sitting against the back of your chair, so your back is nice and flat. All right, here we go, guys. Number 1.16, a Clair de la Lune. It's got lots of these in it. What are these called? Quarter notes, and they get how many beats? 1. It also has some of these in it. These are called half notes, and they get 2 beats. And then at the very end, it has one of these. This is called a whole note, and it gets 4 beats. Awesome. And then, the very, very end, by the double bar line, there is a repeat sign. I should make a card with that on it. I'll work on that next time. All right, here we go. Air band it with me first, and then we're going to play it. Here we go. A Clair de la Lune. Air band it. So I'll say the first 2 measures with you, and then you say the rest by yourself. Ready, and C, 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 D, E, D. Now you say it. 2, 3, 4. Now you would repeat. All right, but we're going to stop right there. Guys, can you look in the third measure? Count with me from the beginning. 1, 2, 3. Hopefully, you got to this measure. This is the third measure, right? So if you count from the beginning, 1, 2, 3. That's the third measure. There's only 4 measures in this whole song. Guys, look at the third measure. In this song, this is the trickiest measure. So we're going to airband that measure one more time. Because in music, when there's a tricky measure, you need to focus just on that measure. So airband the third measure with me. Say it with me. Ready? And C, E, D, D. Say it one more time. C, E, D, D. Good. Hopefully you're also practicing your fingers while you say it. Now we're going to play just that measure, starting on the C. Ready? And we're tonguing every note. Do that one more time. Same thing. Awesome. Okay. Guys, anytime there's a part of the music that's like kind of scary or it's harder, don't be scared of it. That means focus on that part, all right? Because when you do, you're going to get really good at that part, and then you'll be able to play the whole thing really well, all right? That's how we get better. All right, so now we've already focused on the hardest part of the song. Let's go back and play the whole thing. All right, from the beginning, a Clair de la Lune with the repeat. 1, 2, sit up tall, ready, go. Repeat. Awesome, cool. Hopefully you played that with me. If you need to, pause the video, go back, work on those spots, work on anything that was tricky, airband it, all right? And then play it, rewind it, and play that with me again. Okay, awesome. Guys, we're going to go to the next one, 1.17. Mary Had a Little Lamb. This is pretty exciting because you've already played this song on the clarinet several times since Band Explorers. And this is the first time, though, we're actually seeing the actual music for Mary Had a Little Lamb written for clarinet, okay? So let's airband this first, and then we're going to play it. So first thing from the beginning, E. So this is cool because it's using all 3 notes a lot. It's going to go down through them. But hopefully you guys are ready for this because you've been playing this for a while now. All right. Mary Had a Little Lamb. Say these with me. I'll just say the first 2 measures, and then you say the rest of them. All right, either say them in your head or say them out loud. Ready? And E, D, C, D, E, E, E. Rest. 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 2, 3, 4. Let's play it from the beginning. Actually, let's just play the first measure because that's the tricky measure because it keeps changing notes. We're going to tongue every note. Airband it with me first. First measure. Ready? And E, D, C, D. Good. Make sure your fingers are just like hovering. Just like you did when you played recorder. Your fingers need to hover. Don't lift them and move them back or move them too far out of the way because they have to come right back again. That's just like too much work. Keep them hovered right over the top. So airband it. E, D, C, D. Good. Play it. Just that measure. Ready? Tongue the notes. One more time. Good. Play the whole thing with me. 2, beginning, ready, go. Rest. Nice job. Guys, if you want to go back and play that song slower, play it slower, but play the whole thing slower. If you want to play it faster, but play the whole thing faster. Don't change your speed throughout the song. Just pick one speed and stay with it. All right? But if you just played that with me and you played it really well and you're like, that was pretty easy, go back and do it faster, because this is really fun when you play that fast. All right, let's look at the next one, 1.18. This is the last song we're going to do for today. Mary Had a Cool Lamb. It's basically the Mary Had a Little Lamb, except they change where the rests are because they're trying to make it like really jazzy. Speaking of rests, we've got a whole bunch of these in this song. These are called quarter rests, and they get how many beats? 1. Awesome. Let's play it. Pause the video, airband it by yourself. After you've airbanded it, we're going to play it. Here we go. Let's play it from the beginning. 2, ready, go. Rest. 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 Awesome. Cool, guys. Hopefully that went well. Practice those 3 songs this week, number 1.16 through 1.18. All right? Play them slower, playing them little sections, airband them, and then play them with me on this video. All right? Guys, I hope you have a great week. I have a quick survey, a new survey, below the description of this, or below the title of the video. Click on that at some point this week. You only have to do it once this week. All right, I'm going to start having that available. It's just so that I know what types of things you're practicing each week, because I know you guys are working hard at home and practicing, and I want to make sure that like I'm aware of everyone that is playing their instruments and like what kinds of things you're doing and what kinds of things you're working on. All right, so just do that video really quick. It's going to be available from now on, just so I can keep track of who's been following along and who's been working so hard at home. All right, guys, you're awesome. I miss you so much. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Keep practicing. Have fun. I know some of you need reads. Those are going to go out by the end of this next week. So keep an eye out for those. I miss you guys. Bye.